Now I would request everyone to be seated and maintain silence, please.
Good morning, everyone. I am Adya Gupta, the head of registrations at Elman this year. It takes my utmost honor to welcome our chief guest for the opening ceremony, Mrs. Rutika Kamboj, our principal, Mr. Gary Dominic Everett, our vice principal, Mr. Mark Donald Karam, head of middle school and dean of studies, Mr. Aaron Michael Morrison, head of department of junior school, Mrs. Clover Everett, head of department of the preparatory department, Mrs. Sharon Malkai, the bursar, and a faculty advisor, Dr. Zeba Siddiqui, and last but not the least, the noble hall at large. I would now like to thank our sponsors for this event, without which this event would not be possible. Our platinum sponsors, Clat Possible, Titan Financial Brokers, OneUp, CBI. Our gold sponsors, Ramada, Hyundai, Funtura, Mahindra, Youth Central. Something special about Youth Central is a one-stop hub for all learning and activity classes near you, whether it's academics, hobbies, wellness, or sports. They bring it all together under one roof to help students grow and explore their full potential. Raj Builders, our silver sponsors, Sangmal RM Institute, Funda Makers, IRM Education, John Business Consultants, Canon, Travel to India, and TechCom Solutions. I now call upon our Secretary General for the 12th session, Kushar Khare, to take over the further proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adya, for introducing me and naming all the sponsors that have made this event and this beautiful hall dressed up possible. Ladies and gentlemen, Ma'am Zeba, Mr. Gary Dominic Everett, our Vice Principal Bursar Sir, HOD Middle School, and all the other reputed people here. It is my dream come true moment to have Her Excellency Mrs. Ruchira Kamboj here, present as the chief guest of Elman 2025, the 12th session. Believe me, the day I got to know that someone this meritorious has retired from the UN, I decided that at least one day I'll call her to Elman and make this event a dream come true moment for me. And today, that day is present. I can write a book on Mrs. Kamboj, but I would just precise it in a paragraph that I have in front of me and then add some words of my own. Mrs. Kamboj is a retired officer of the 1987 batch of the Indian Foreign Service. Having graduated from Lucknow's own Isabella Thoburn College and University of Delhi, her diplomatic career started in 1989 at the Indian Embassy in Paris. Due to her remarkable caliber, she was called to serve in the Ministry of External Affairs as Under Secretary in the Europe West Division. Throughout her career, which spans 34 glorious years, she has been entrusted with numerous responsibilities. Some of her roles during her illustrious service to the nation include serving as the Consul General in Cape Town, Deputy Head at the Commonwealth Secretariat, India's Ambassador to UNESCO, High Commissioner to South Africa and Lesotho. Her Excellency is a pioneer in Indian diplomacy and a champion of international relations, being the first woman of the nation to be appointed as India's Chief of Protocol. She served as India's 18th ambassador to Bhutan, during which she oversaw the launch of the RuPay card in Bhutan, which we now use it every now and then. And the India-Bhutan satellite project. In 2022, she became the first woman to be appointed as the permanent representative to the United Nations. This incredible feat marked the commencement of an incredible tenure, which included becoming the first Indian woman president of the UNSC. Ladies and gentlemen, that statement itself makes me as a Manner proud that I have an actual UNSC president sitting with me. May I have a round of applause on that line itself, nothing else. We are honored to host Ma'am at the 12th session of Elman in the capacity of the chief guest and keynote speaker for the opening ceremony, and thank her for her inspiring service, which shall prove to be motivational beacon to the youth of India and everyone beyond who is watching us on this live broadcast. Now, this is what I was given to read out for ma'am. Now I'll add on my words. Ladies and gentlemen, ma'am, the day I got to contact ma'am, she was kind enough to reply in just a few moments, and I came out of my chemistry exam and I checked my phone when I reached home, and I saw ma'am's missed call was there, and I was panicked, and I ringed ma'am back, and she picked up in the utmost humility, softness and calming nature, making me feel at a place where I was comfortable talking to her. She coming down from such a high level of position to just talk to a student like me was itself a moment of compassion for me and believing that I can have ma'am converge at Elman. And then onward, this journey started. I'll not go into the details, but believe me, ma'am and I have talked about everything related to Lucknow in the car, and I can tell you that at the end of Elman, when Elman ends on day 3, ma'am will be a Lucknow fan just as me. It is now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my utmost honor to invite Her Excellency Ruchira Kamboj for her address to the August Hall at large, and I request all of you to welcome her with a thunderous round of applause as she comes and joins us at the stage. It's actually a dream from true moment.
Thank you. Thank you. Just it. Well, good morning, everybody. Such a pleasure to be here, and I must thank La Martiniere for inviting me. So thank you very much, Mr. Everett, the entire team at La Martiniere, and of course your brilliant Secretary General, Kushagra Khare. Let me return the compliment in equal measure, Kushagra. I find in him a very dynamic person, a very wonderful and warm personality, and I have no doubt he is set to be a future leader of this country, as all of you here, all of you delegates here. Well, let me put it this way. If you've checked the headlines today, you'll know we live in what some would call an age of polycrisis, a world where one crisis collides with another, climate with conflict, technology with trust. And yet, here you are, young, curious, brimming with the energy that tells me the future can be different. Now, let me start with a little story. When I first walked into the United Nations as a young diplomat in New York, I thought it would be all grand speeches and quick solutions. The reality, as the reality often is, was very different. I soon found myself in a chamber, a UN conference room, at 2 a.m. The city that never sleeps buzzing outside, while inside, delegates, much like you, argued over every word in a resolution. I was one of them. Commas, semicolons, full stops, every word we were arguing over every word in that resolution. And nobody wanted to give ground. Nobody wanted to cede ground. To me, it seemed endless, even hopeless. But then someone suggested one small compromise. And slowly the room began to shift. That moment taught me something I carry even today. Change in our world often comes not through dramatic breakthroughs, but through persistence, through patience, and the courage to listen. The ability to be open to others, and the courage to listen. And today, if I step back and think about it, there are a few lessons that I'd like to leave with you, if I may. Lessons that matter, whether you're in the United Nations, in a company, or right here at Model United Nations. First, we live in a world where information never stops coming at us from news feeds, from social media, even artificial intelligence. Everyone has a voice, and it's easier than ever to be compelling. Through social media, through curated videos, through artificial intelligence, you have so much coming to you, isn't it? Instagram, TikTok, and it's very easy to be compelling today. But here's the thing, this is my own experience. The real winners are those who don't just repeat what they hear. They pause, take in the data, and critically analyze it for themselves. I think it's about separating signal from noise. In diplomacy, in policy, even in daily life, the ability to make decisions based on evidence, rather than emotions, is a true superpower. If you really look at it very closely, your emotions cloud your judgment. Evidence or data helps you see things as they are, not as you feel they are. So I would say, separate the signal from the noise. My second point, the ego is never satisfied. It always wants more recognition, more applause, more validation. Because the ego feeds on comparison, not contentment, on wanting more, not in having. But life, you might agree with me, is too precious to be lived chasing something that will never be enough. What really matters are your true goals. Your true goals, your happiness, your sense of meaning, your contribution. In the MUN room, when your conference starts, remember this: it is not about winning every argument or showcasing how smart you are. It's not about that. It's about learning, it's about growing, it's about finding purpose in how you engage with others. Becoming a wiser person, a kinder person through this journey, more purposeful in how you engage with others. My third point, life is balance. As Franz Kafka once said, life has meaning because it ends. Our time here is finite, and that is what makes it priceless. And sure, we are always torn between opposites. I myself, as an officer in the government of India, was always torn between opposites. I had my commitments in office, and I was very, very duty-bound. I loved my work, and I felt I had been given so much. Here was my opportunity to give back. But at the same time, I was also torn because I had other responsibilities to fulfill as a wife, as a mother, as a daughter, and importantly, as a mother. So one is always torn between opposites. Nothing new about that. All of you experience that daily. So what I'm trying to say is push yourself, but also celebrate yourself. Strive, but also pause. I didn't do enough of that as I look back. Everything that I got in life, I cleared the UPSC exam, I was the topper of the year amongst all women, I got all my postings, everything that I wanted. I got Paris, I got London, I got New York, I got all the great cities. I was privileged, I was blessed by God that I had many firsts to my credit. I was the first woman Chief of Protocol of India, the first woman ambassador to Bhutan, the first woman to be India's ambassador at the United Nations, but I never paused. I always went on and on. But when I look back today, I think it's important to strive, to achieve, but also to celebrate. Because in truth, life is about balance. And the truth is often somewhere in the middle. It lives quietly in the middle ground. And as Indians, who taught us better than Siddhartha Gautam, who always talked about the middle path. And I think that lesson is very important. For young leaders like you, this balance is what will keep you resilient, it will keep you grounded, and will provide you with the ability to move forward with clarity. And fourth, be genuine to your environment. Don't just say yes. Don't just say yes for the sake of it. Let me give you an example. I have a friend who works for a company as if it were his own. He takes the best decisions keeping the company's growth in mind. I mean, he doesn't own the company, but he acts as if the company were his own. That's what true contribution looks like. Convenience is easy. I know it is very convenient. It's even expedient to just say yes for the sake of saying yes. Convenience is easy, but integrity is rare. And remember that. So, as I conclude, if you take away just 4 things today, I would say, be data-driven in a noisy world. Don't get trapped by ego. Always search for balance. And authenticity over empty argument. These are not just lessons for diplomacy, which I did try to practice as best as I could. I would say they are lessons for life. And if you practice them, who knows? One day, you might find yourself in that chamber, in that conference room at 2 a.m., holding the world's attention and changing it for the better. Thank you. And congratulations, Elman. My greetings and congratulations to the principal, Mr. Everett. I think you're doing a fabulous job, and let's be very honest. This would happen, this would have happened, and this will happen year on year, but without your vision, your guidance, and that silent support, it would not be possible. My good wishes also to the faculty advisor for the wonderful role that she has played and for inspiring and guiding students that is always needed. And of course, to the very dynamic Secretary General. It's a tough job, but I think he's doing it with a lot of conviction, so congratulations, Kushagra Khare. And of course, finally, to all of you in this room, delegates, have a wonderful time. Let the games begin. Thank you.
I think after that speech, I'll add one more first in the last speech I gave today. But before all of it, and I forget what I have to speak, I would like to invite Mr. Gary Dominic Everett, Dr. Zeba Siddiqui, and members of the Secretariat, along with the Vice Principal, Mr. Mark Donald Karen, on stage to felicitate Her Excellency Ruchira Kamboj for her presence at Elman 2025. Later. Delegates, may I expect decorum at the back of the hall and on the upstairs? We have the chief guest, the principal, everyone seated, and I expect some level of decorum to be maintained at the hall. Thank you so much. While I was introducing everyone and addressing everyone in the hall, Sir, Mr. Everett thought that I forgot ma'am's name and pointed towards him. Well, that's his role exactly the whole year. He's been guiding us throughout. He's been telling us how and why should we not do things, why should we not do things. He listens to me patiently. He laughs with us. He offers us biscuits. He offers us teas. And sometimes we take it. Sometimes we ask sir that, sir, if you could get the Muses bar, but he denies vehemently and says, no, you cannot. And yeah, but all in all, Sir has been the guiding light of Hellman this year, and I can confirm that the amount of documents he signed this year, I can make a pile out of it and sell it maybe, and I'll get lakhs of rupees for sponsorship for Hellman, because that's the amount of documents he signs every day for Hellman. Whether it be EB dinner, whether it be accommodation, whether it be the payments, anything and everything has to go through Sir. And Sir has been the one person who has been supporting Hellman since he has come to La Martiniere. While I was made the Secretary General at the 18th of January, I was very unsure as to how would my tenure go. How will I get all the permissions signed throughout the end of the year? But when I stand here at the 7th of November, thinking about this day, maybe from way behind 18th of January when the list actually was signed, believe me, I know that this is one of the best things that I could have done. And with Sir's guidance, I have done. Thank you so much, Sir, for your continued support. Moreover, I would yeah, please, Sir deserves a round of applause. That is more thunderous. I would now like to invite Sir for his address and what he would like to say to the delegates. I am sure if the delegates request, he'll grant us the Muses bar, but I think it's too late now.
Good morning, everyone. I'm really happy this morning. Firstly, because we have one of the best ever person that could be a chief guest for an MUN. And Ma'am Ruchira has come here, and you couldn't find anybody better than that. So I would like all the children here and the staff present here, let's thank Ma'am for coming and being a part of this MUN. Let's give her a huge round of applause. Thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to welcome each and every student delegate that have come from all over the country to participate in the LMNUN. The students here have been working, I think, they've always been working. And Kushagra Khare, guy standing behind me, I'm sure, he's the energy that he has, the level of energies, and the ways in which he can make you say yes is really amazing. There were certain things that we agreed to. I think most of the things, 99%, I said yes. There was one venue which he kept asking for, and I said no, that venue may not be correct for certain reasons, and for the safety and security of the children, it's more and more important, for which he is still craving and asking me if he can get that permission, and I am still saying no. But nevertheless, the lady behind this entire scene, I would like to appreciate and acknowledge Ma'am Ziba Siddiqui, who is sitting right there. This lady has worked tirelessly all these days in making this event possible. Thank you so much, Ma'am Ziba. And you find these guys are all around the men in black. The committee members of this MUN, these boys, I don't know whether you have slept for the past 3-4 days, because day before yesterday when I was taking my rounds at 1 o'clock in the evening, these guys were awake in this hall. So all this is happening so that we have a good event of the MUN at La Martiniere. So I welcome you all. I hope that we make this event a successful event, and that can only happen with the cooperation and the participation of each and every one of you. We have come here to participate. We have come here to learn from each other. That's very, very important. And the most important thing is you have come here to make friends. So make as many friends as possible, because these friends which you make will be friends for a lifetime. Learn to work together, learn to collaborate, and definitely the team that does well, we'll have winners, we'll have awards, we'll have prizes, but that should not be the center of attraction. It's more important that what you have learned in your schools, what you have learned in your MUN sessions, you do it with the best of your ability in this session of La Martiniere. So thank you once again. I would like to thank all your principals for allowing you to come here. The last score that I had was 530 delegates participating in this session. So that's a large number, but nevertheless, we have a lot of space for all of you. The boys on the campus will be escorting you at different venues. So enjoy yourself, make the best of these 3 days. And I would also like to thank at this point of time our founder, Claude Martin. Those of you who don't know about him, he's the person the reason that we're all here, his vision that all his wealth, all his property in this entire country and in the world should be given for education, for which we have 2 schools in Lucknow, the La Martiniere Boys and the Girls School. We have 2 schools in Calcutta, Calcutta Boys and Calcutta Girls. And there are around 6 schools and colleges in Lyon, France, which carry on the legacy of our founder, Claude Martin. So at this point of time, I'd like to thank our founder. And nevertheless, I would like to thank God for making all this event possible. May you all be safe. May you all enjoy yourself to the best of your ability. And we look forward to a good MUN in these next 3 days. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
One person I forgot to thank throughout my speeches was God. I don't know how sir remembered it, because last night we all had given up and left it on God. And I don't know how it turned out, but it turned out well, it seems so. All right, moving on. The technical team of Elman consists of 1 people and 1 people. There is one guy who makes the videos, backdrops and everything. His name is Shaurya Singh. He is the USG, he is the head, and he does everything regarding technology at Elman himself. He's a powerhouse of technology, and he himself will come up on stage and present to you the glimpses of Constantia and the conference video, which he just made 40 minutes ago, reminding you again. He just made it 40 minutes ago and edited it once again just to make the file name correct. So he's coming on stage, guys. Please give him a round of applause so he does not feel nervous.
So, good morning, respected guests, esteemed delegates. It's an honor to welcome you all to this year's conference. I am Shaurya Singh, the Under Secretary General for Technical Operations. Now, we'll be watching The Glimpse of Constantia, a short video that showcases our college and its legacy.
In the heart of Lucknow stands a monument not just of stone and marble, but of legacy, learning, and light. Here, history breathes through every pillar, and the past whispers softly across the winds of Constantia. Within these walls, generations have dreamt, discovered, and dared. We welcome you to witness the legacy, the learning, the life that is. spirit that endures. Here, dreams take shape and values find their voice. This is our home, our pride. The spirit that never fades, the pride that never falls, the legacy that lives within us all. And when that spirit rises, it roars through every heart. May our founder's name endure, ever spotless, ever pure.
Now, I'll present to you the highly anticipated opening video of La Martiniere Model United Nations 2025.
Ages from 3 to 6 and not even able to stand. Rickets. Mother, father, sister, and brother killed all around him in deliberate shell fire. Age 8, she didn't know her strange new toy was a grenade. Ages 10 to 14.
Riot squad and mounted police unit attempting to keep demonstrators back.
Something's going to happen. Whether it's internal or external, I think something's going to happen.
Dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever.
A responsibility that will benefit everyone.
It's a good opportunity for me to learn a lot about people.
Researchers are now testing AIs on how much money they can make.
Focusing on the newest, or one of the newest members of Harvard's class of 2006.
It's a very, very
Children here at the malnutrition clinic have never known a full meal in their
dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever.
In the design and delivery of financial services.
Run in circles, it's a very, very
countries on the road.
Now, to take the proceedings forward, I would like to call upon Kushagra Tiwari, our Head of Executive Affairs.
Good morning to one and all present here. It is that time of the year. It is Elman again. And now I would like to recognize the 9 most contributing, most accomplished people of the Elman Society. The secretariat. I would like to call upon our faculty advisor, Dr. Zeba Siddiqui, our principal, Mr. Gary Dominic Everett, and Her Excellency, Mrs. Ruchira Kamboj, to felicitate the secretariat. First and foremost, we have the Under Secretary General for Committee and Policy, Adesh Venkat Subramanian. Next up, we have the man behind the wonderful video you just saw, the Under Secretary General for Technical Operations, Shaurya Singh. Next up, the Under Secretary General for Administration, Abhiraj Bhushan. Now, I would like to welcome up on stage the Under Secretary General for Conference Management, Shiv Chawla. Now, here is the man you may have just saw at the registration desk this morning, the Under Secretary General for Delegate Affairs, Shaurya Vardhan Singh. Now we have the Under Secretary General for Finance, Namit Bhasin. If you see the decoration in this hall right now and all around campus, and you see, oh, I would like that at my conference as well, you can contact our Deputy Secretary General, Muhammad Arhan. Now, we have the Director General for Element 2025, Vishesh Gupta. You may all know him by his nickname KK, but now we have the Secretary General for the 12th session of the Martiniere Model United Nations 2025, Kutragra Khare. Now I would like to call up Now, in a conference, when you come to a conference, you enter the committee session, you enter the committee room, and there you meet two people, or maybe just one people, or maybe three if you're in UNGA. God bless you. If you meet those two people who will run your committee and your mood for the next 2 or 3 days, those are known as the executive board members. They bring the committee to life. Without them, the committee will not actually function. And if you would ask me 10 minutes ago, this facilitation was also not happening. Now, to facilitate the executive board members of Element 2025, I'd like to call up on stage Mr. Gary Dominic Everett, our principal. I would also like to call upon stage our faculty advisor, Dr. Zeba Siddiqui, and Mrs. Ruchira Kamboj, our chief guest. First up, we have the Social, Humanitarian and Cultural Committee of the United Nations General Assembly, also known as the UNGA SOCHM. This year at Elman, the SOCHM is dealing with the externalization of refugees and their non-refoulement. For this executive board, I would like to call upon stage the co-chairperson, Parth Mangal. I would now like to call up the second co-chairperson of UNGA SOCUM and also the Secretary General of the 9th session of Elman, Syed Mohammad Ayan Rizvi. Now we have the Vice Chairperson of UNGA SOCUM, Samrit Gupta. Next up, we have the Assembly of the African Union, which deals with the Aspiration 7 of the 2063 Agenda. I would like to call up on stage the chairperson for the African Union, Kaveri Rawal. I would like the House to have a louder round of applause. Next up, we have the Vice Chairperson for the AU, Anubhav Sahu. Now we have the International Seabed Authority, the Legal and Technical Commission. The Chair, Ritik Singh. Vice Chair, Mr. Kritin Bhasin. Now we have the United Nations High-Level Advisory Body on Artificial Intelligence. The two co-chairpersons, Aryan Dhawan and Kinjal Sharma. Unfortunately, Mr. Kinjal Sharma is in absentia. Now I would like to call up the Deputy Secretary General, Mohammad Arhan, for the felicitation of the EBs.
Greetings, everyone. Next up, we have the United Nations Security Council. The President of the Committee, Mr. Vedansh Tandon. I don't think he's present here. Next up, we have Ms. Anusha Bhattacharya, the Vice President of the Committee. Next up, we have the Harvard meeting of the Harvard Corporation and the Board of Overseas. The president of the committee, Mr. Naman Mishra. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Naman Mishra was once the Secretary General of La Martiniere Model Nations Conference for the year 2018. Please welcome him with a loud round of applause. Mr. Vinayak Tandon, President, Harvard Board of Overseas. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Mr. Vinayak Tandon was also Secretary General of La Martiniere Model Nations last year, 2024. Next, we have a very intriguing committee executive review meeting of the Directorate General of Civil Aviation. For that, we have the Minister of Civil Aviation, Mr. Ishan Bhasin. Can we please have you up here? Secretariat member. Ex-Secretariat member. Delegates, again, Mr. Ishan Bhasin is also an ex-Secretariat member of La Martiniere Model Nations. Next, we have Mr. Aryan Ahuja, who is not present here. We'll move on. Next is the committee People's Court of Athens, 399 BCE. Mr. Arul Kumar, not present here. Mr. Abhiram Krishnan Shukla. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Abhiram was also the Secretary General of the year 2020, La Martiniere Model Nations. Please give him a huge round of applause. Next committee is the National Emergency Coordination Council. Mr. Aditya Sharma, President of India. Mr. Aditya Sharma, yes. Sir has taken out time from his very busy schedule. Mr. Aditya Vadva. Is not here, no? Next committee we have is the Ad Hoc Committee of Secretary General, Mr. Shayar Majumdar. Can you please give him a huge round of applause? He's the senior most executive board member of our conference. Sir is more than just an executive board member. He has guided us and gave his advice on all the committees at this year's conference. Devan Chana is not present. Mohit is not present. Prabhu Saraswat. Ladies and gentlemen, next up we have the International Press Journalism, Mr. Prabhav Tripathi. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Prabhav has been chairing IP journalism since the past 5 years consecutively at Elman. Please give him a huge round of applause. Last but not the least, we have the International Press Photography, Mr. Vihan Saraswat. I would like to thank, no sir.
Thank you, Aran. Thank you, Katie, for that wonderful felicitation of the EBs. All right. Delegates, may I have your attention here for some amount of time? I'll not take much. I'll finish it, wrap it up in the smallest of times I have. So the delegates sitting at the right back can finish up their GSLs, the crisis updates, and everything can be sorted out by the crisis delegates, and the semi-crisis delegates can think, what meal do they have to order at 12 p.m. today? But, ladies and gentlemen, I joined Elman in class 7 when I was sitting at my home and a random link popped up on the WhatsApp group showing that, okay, you can join an MUN conference from La Martiniere's delegation. I signed up for it thinking that I have nothing to do, and I do not know how I ended up here. Well, this is the boring start of every speech that you'll hear, that how I started. But moving on, in my entire journey of 6 years spending in this society, in this room which is very upstairs to me, and I can also take this route, and every year the secretariat dreams to take this route to come to this bench hall, but we just fail sometimes. Anyway, the one thing that I've seen constant in this room and in the Elman society has been Dr. Zeba Siddiqui. She has been the guiding light, the person with every point of contact you can ask for. She'll come to the MUN room if I call her at 12 in the night and tell, ma'am, we need you tomorrow. Because that's how much she loves the Elman and the boys. She says herself that we are her boys. And the way she fights for us, from everyone, whether it be our phones, whether it be the permissions, anything, she is a figure in which I see a meritorious person standing right between, sitting right with us. I learn from her every day. She tells us things. She also tells us that we don't do work at our home and we don't fold our bed sheets, so she has to do the tablecloths for us. But yeah, that's about it. Rest apart, ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you, the leader and the person who you need at every point of time in Elman for anything, whether it be the decoration, the electricals. Also, one anecdote I would like to make here is that you see these flags set up. These flags wouldn't have been possible if ma'am did not contact the security estate manager and told him that, okay, please let us open the room, we have to set up flags. Another example, the lights that you see shining right on me right now wouldn't have been set up if ma'am wouldn't have called Mr. Leonard John to set up the lights. Ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you, standing right here as a 6-year-old, 6-year experienced member of the Elman Society, Ma'am Zeba single-handedly runs the Elman Society on her own, and boys are just a means of it. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, she does not know about it, and she is as clueless as anyone sitting here. I've just told sir so he knows about it. We are going to felicitate ma'am for her work that she has been doing throughout her year. And believe me, the character ma'am has and the blatantness and the positive attitude that she carries, believe me, that aura is unmatchable. Guys, can we have the memento come up for ma'am? I would like to ask Mrs. Kamboj and Principal Sir to give it here itself so that ma'am does not have to climb the stairs. All right, delegates. If you notice Elman's inclination towards aviation and how I have made an aviation committee and called the Director General for Civil Aviation from the DGCA as the chief guest in the closing ceremony, you might think how is it possible that this guy is mad over aviation? Well, that's because of one person sitting in this room right now. His name is Adrian Michael. He taught me about aviation from class 8. I joined a random club named as Aviation that was named Aero Modeling at that time. And since then, I have a notebook which I maintain every now and then in the CCA club. And believe me guys, the amount of knowledge that he has regarding aviation, he's an ex-IF pilot himself. And he's a very less recognized person. You won't see people recognizing him in a word or two for every event. But believe me, the work he has done for me personally, as well as for Elman, whether it be the stall signing yesterday, whether it be the setting up of anything or removal of anything in that same amount of space, very swiftly, sir has done each and everything. I would just like a round of applause for sir. He's the most underrated person in La Martiniere, but he deserves that amount of applause for sure. last but surely not the least, my heads of department, Mr. Vice Principal Sir, Mr. Mark Donald Karen, and Mr. Morrison. I went to Mr. Morrison's house yesterday to get the keys for the room, and he signed the deal with me on 2 chicken sandwiches and the most expensive drink a Starbucks can buy. So that's how we are set up after the MUN, and we'll see Mr. Morrison with me in the Starbucks any day. And Mr. Karen, I've already treated him very nicely, and he's been the best guy out there. He signs every exemption that we take to him, but warns me that he'll take away my tie if I just go above the lines. But believe me, all of these personalities who you consider strict as La Martiniere boys, of all the boys and everyone sitting here from La Martiniere family, I assure you that all of these people who you see sitting on the sofas are one of the most chill and most fun people to hang out with and spend time with. All right, now this is, I think all of them deserve a round of applause, guys. One last time. I leave a lot of crying and everything emotional for the closing ceremony. Moving on to the final thing today, I'll pick up the gavel myself right now, acknowledging it so that I don't miss the frame. I wish to get my picture clicked in, but all right, here it is. When on the 18th of January, the list was signed of the secretariat, I was told that I am the Secretary General of the conference, and I went to search with ma'am to get the list signed. Aran Vishesh were there with me, and believe me, we all were so happy that the list is getting signed because it was delayed for 2 months. We got it signed, we pasted it on the board that we have in the MUN room, and we went to canteen to party. Since 18th of January, it's been almost 11 months since then. We've had numerous crisis updates. One was the conference being called off. No, hopefully. Then second one, were we allowed to do anything this year? Maybe no, maybe yes. I was not sure, as I told you earlier. Third, most importantly, will Ma'am Zeba be here? Because if she is not there, then there is no conference happening. And fourth, what would be the team look like? Believe me, the felicitation of the secretariat was just a speck of what these guys have worked off. Namit Bhasin, the guy you see in the pink tie sitting right there behind everyone, I request Namit to stand up to just show his stylish Gucci glasses to everyone. But Namit, believe me, the banners you see printed, the things that you see that are bought from money, Namit is the money man of Elman. You can't do anything without money, and believe me, Namit has got us enough to make us give treats to Mr. Morrison. The decorations you see throughout the campus, and you see some white t-shirt boys written as logistics behind them with a lot of marketing logos behind them. Those boys are very small boys that don't understand what an MUN is. I cannot explain all of those 120 boys what an MUN is and how do they manage and how do they do the logistics work, the groundwork and everything. That guy you see there sitting looking at me right now with maybe a tear in his eye is Shiv Chawla. I request Shiv to stand up right now. Believe me, he'll not show up in the MUN room for 30 days, but the 31st day he'll come and get everything done. He's the most runny guy in the MUN room. He'll run from the corridors to get things done. He was here till 2 nights, so the Elman 2025 that you see from the balconies, 8 balconies, those are there, hanging, blue colored, was because of Shiv. And each and every decoration which has been set up is because of Shiv right now. And I have no more words but just to thank Shiv and Namit for the work these guys have done throughout this year. Thank you, Namit. Thank you, Shiv. My 3 11ths, we call them quote-unquote juniors. However, some of them are older than me right now also, but we call them juniors. All right. Abhiraj, Adesh, and Bhavya. This is a power bank of what you could imagine in a team. One guy will call up and get a car on the gate. The other will go, and the third one will call the vendor to get the things done. These 3 guys, I could not have asked for a better pack of juniors than these 3. And of course, one more thing I would like to point out is Adesh and Abhiraj have a monogram on their pocket. Do you know why? Because all of us had to get monograms, but all of us were in the campus, while both of these guys just went out with their car randomly, and we don't know how did they vanish, and got their monogram stitched from somewhere, and we are very envious of him, and that is why they were not seated here. Believe me, that's actually the true reason. The third guy you see, Bhavya, actually came up to the stage, and that is the reason both of them were not included. But moving on. best set of juniors one could ask for. They have everything in talent to continue Elman's traditions, to respect everyone who is in the school society, and to have fun with. These guys, when they are in their fun moods, are the best guys to hang out with, whether it is a place where we drink chai or whether it is the MUN room, which Mr. VP has caught us many times and called us. So we'll leave that. All right. The two guys that you see right here talking to each other, that when am I going to take their names, is Mohammad Aran and Vishesh Gupta. When I joined the MUN Society in class 7, I thought that I need someone to have from my batch, but I did not have a lot of people. Vishesh was the first guy who entered the tech team in 2021 with me when Kinjal Sharma was the Secretary General of that conference. That day, and it's today, he was telling me right now that it's our opening playing, and I was sure, and I was nodding it to him, but because it feels surreal to us that we've grown so much together, we've spent so much time together, we've fought, we've cried together, and most importantly, we've taken a lot of important decisions together. This year, believe me, I am saying the truth of what all the knowledge I owe, that these two guys are my go-to guys. I have told it last year as well, I cannot function without them. These guys have to be there for the work to be done. Even when I went home for 5 hours and Mrs. Eva scolded me for it so badly, but when I went home to change after 32 hours of no sleeps, these two guys were present in the campus, taking all the charge, whether it be decoration, whether it be getting the banners in the conference, or whether it be setting up of the committee venues. The speakers that you see, the lights that you see, the smallest of decoration thing you see are a huge, humongous amount of planning that has gone into it. And these two guys are the guys to dependable, the most dependable trio that you will see. And also one more thing I forgot about them. We have a group named Three Idiots. I know it would sound funny to most of you, and that is why we added a bracket and a nostalgia to it. Because we are very nostalgic people, and we just randomly text that we are so big right now, and we don't want to pass school and all of it. But one of the most practical guys when you have to take a decision with them, and believe me, those guys were seated there because they are my friends and not because of their work in the Elman Society. But yeah, that is it. That is my secretariat, that everyone who I had to thank now I've done. Elman this year. Oh, okay. Ma'am just pointed out, see, that's how she's the guiding light again. Ma'am just pointed, I forgot one name, which is very obvious because it's a huge secretariat and I forgot names. Shaurya Singh. Guys, he was my deputy last year. He was working in the Dell Affairs, and believe me, he said, KK bhai, is baar ho jayega. But at the end, we stand at a point where we are so comfortable with the number of delegates. We have done enough of delegates have come in. The topmost schools of the nation and over abroad have been contacted for this event, and we have a lot of people coming in from outside is only because of this guy. You will see him on calls 24/7. You will see him texting schools 24/7. But the amount of work that this dude has done from his own home sometimes, and the reason that we got, you can see CLAT Possible on one of the banners, the reason we got it as a sponsor was because Shaurya and Shobh went together to Surabhi ma'am and told that Shaurya will score a 120 upon 120 in his CLAT, and then we could get a sponsor. But more or less, this guy is the perfect Dell Affairs guy that you will ever need for Elman. Welcome to the club. All right. This is the moment, I think. Elman has been one of the most emotional, most affecting and most surreal things of my life. I've learned, I've grown through it, and whenever I remember my childhood in the future, I will always think about Elman, believe me. The room, the people, I can take names right now and it will be evening, but I would not hesitate to take some names. Rajveer Vadwa, Suya Shukla, Vinayak Tandon, Samrit Gupta, Kritin Bhasin, Amay Gupta, all of these guys, Ayan Rizvi, Vandit Pandey, Sarthak Singh, all of these guys were seniors to me. 3 years seniors, 2 years seniors, but they taught how to deal with the actual world. With the MUN Society running and the CCA's office that side, we know that we have to indulge in a lot of things, whether it be the printing, whether it be dealing with vendors, whether it be dealing with the artists, etc., etc. But these seniors and these people taught me and gave me a perspective to think in the direction in which work can be done, in which things can be sorted out. Those were the people that depended on me, that helped me, supported me through all the decisions that I took, through all the steps that I took, whether it be wrong or right. That was a conclusion after it. And if it was a wrong decision, I had to treat Vinayak with 2 sheermals. But it was the most amazing experience to serve under all of these set of seniors that I had. It feels so surreal to have this gavel with me to open the conference, where I was once in my bedroom thinking, okay, Elman is so far, Elman is 10 months far, but we've reached today. All right, guys, it's time, I think. Okay, ma'am has again reminded me of one more person, and I think the list will go on and on. But one person who just entered La Martiniere in July, I believe, and since then has been a constant support in the absence of ma'am, and has been advising us on everything, whether it be some cash payments, and she's also promised us a treat in Tunde someday, and I don't know when that day will come, because she denied us randomly one day also. But she's one of the sweetest person to be around. She's the most helpful, and I will call her to kick out boys from the MUN room, and she would rush from her MMC room, which is on the other corridor of the school, to rush to make boys out of the MUN room so that we could work. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your support and kindness that you've shown throughout the year. All right, guys, it's the time, I think. Ma'am, any more names left? All right, no more names. Anything else? All right. With the powers vested in me, it feels actually very surreal to say this in front of these 500 people. With the powers vested in me as the Secretary General of La Martiniere World United Nations 2025, the 12th session, I, Kushagar Khare, declare this conference open. I request all of you to be seated. Thank you so much for the applause. I request all of you to be seated. You've been a wonderful audience, and I hope you do very well in your respective committees. The chief guest, along with the principal and the head of departments, move to the blue room, and I request all of you to be seated till the time she moves out. Then the lodge members will escort you to the East Terrace for the conference photographs that we have. Lodging members, please align yourself in the manner that you were told to, and please take note that there should be no points left in the corridor which have to be blocked exist at.